Morning. I'm dealing with a little bit of a lost voice and a sore throat, but I haven't been talking, so I didn't know how bad it was. This is the will of God. 2 colorless mana, 2 white mana. It's an instant, and it has prophecy. I've gone back and forth and thought that maybe prophecy should be a different card type. In this card game, there's instances and then there's sorceries. I wonder if prophecy could be its own standalone card. Hey, I'm sorry. So prophecy activates prophesy. So by itself, it does nothing. It's an activator card, and it activates all of them. So all the creatures or things that you have in play that have the mechanic called prophesy, it would have a unique ability per card, but all of them require someone to play a prophecy card. If you play a prophecy card, then those other cards in play can then start using those abilities. This is kind of funny. I've been trying to use band a lot because I was fascinated by I'm not really fascinated how much people dislike it. I'm fascinated with the concept. I used to grow up trying to figure out how it worked, and then it's been explained, and it's very confusing, and people don't like to use it very often. And I think one of the most hated reasons for the mechanic band is that, let's say you have a creature with flying. None of my cards in my set, very few of them have flying. But let's say you had a creature with flying, a creature that had band, and they were to form a band together. They would lose the flying ability while in the band. So if there any band created, it takes away their abilities. And you know what? What's cool about it? Think about a non-wall or a creature that has a defender. If you formed a band with the creature with defender, I'd imagine they'd be able to attack, just like the flying ability is removed while in a band. I'm guessing those other negative abilities, like defender, is kind of a negative ability because when you have it, you can't do anything. But what about pacifism? Target creature can't attack or block, usually by an aura. If you formed a band with it, would it remove that? That's what's interesting about the ability. So this has target band, has first strike, and +5/+0 while banded. So if you have a band and it has no abilities, this gives your band an ability. It gives it first strike and +5/+0. I think this is a very good card. But it's a 4 mana value instant. It's a high mana value for an instant. There's plenty of payoff. It might not be enough, but there it is. And I'm going to try to be respectful with my lost voice and read this scripture. I'll try to do it in a deeper voice because it's I don't know, because it's holy. I don't know why I asked deeper for holiness, but wherefore the Lord hath commanded me that thou and thy brothers should go into the house of Laban and seek the records
and bring them down hither into the wilderness.
Most of my Nephites early on are barbarians, so the deep voice is for that too.
We go get the plates.
But we'll go on. Oh, this is also a cool name. Will of God. It fits the color pie pretty well. In Magic the Gathering, there's something called the color pie, and white. This is a very flavorful ability for white. This is a very strong, flavorful ability for white. And the artwork kind of looks like an epic adventure. We got Nephi and his brothers, and they're doing the will of the Lord. First Nephi 3-29. This is a angel, a 1/2, heaven sent, 1 white. Like I said, not many of my cards have flying, but this one does. Also has flash and a new ability. I've already forgot what it does. Intervene. I remember. This can be played for target players controlling. So let's say you're playing teams, or say you're playing free for all, and you want to save somebody for some whatever reason you want to save them. You can play this card, but for you, or you can play it for somebody else, and it goes into their control. And the idea is like a guardian angel coming to help. It has prophesy. Shovel this back into its deck. And it's worded that way in case you gave it to a different player. And then there's a prophesy that happens. It gets shuffled back into your library. Well, I guess that works even from the graveyard. I don't know. See, that's funny that I come up with these ideas, but I don't know all the ruling myself. I try to make it as simple as possible with the least amount of text. But you know, when things hit the fan, then everyone's going to need another ruling on certain things. So I really don't know. Why do you smite your younger brother? Oh, hold on.
Why do you smite your younger brother with a rod? Know ye not that the Lord hath chosen him to be a ruler over you, and this because of your iniquities? Behold, ye shall go up to Jerusalem again, and the Lord will deliver Laban into your hands.
Dun dun dun. First Nephi 3:29. If you allow me to go on a little rant here, I wish I could just leave this as a cool 1/2 card. Let's not get too deep into the weeds. But here we go. I'm going to do it quick. This I find interesting. I'm going to tie this in to King Noah. Wicked King Noah, they call him. I'm going to tie this into King Noah because Laban is under the same principle, and I don't even know what to call it, where the king shouldn't be listened to anymore. So remember when wicked King Noah tells the people to leave the women and children and for the men to run? That the women and children were slowing them down, and he said leave them behind. To me, that's the clearest moment for any normal person in the group to say that I shouldn't listen to that man anymore. He's no longer king anymore. And that's a weird principle. It's kind of like a justified mutiny. So here we have Laban, and who trumps Laban as the law of the land? If an angel shows up and he's sent from God and he saves your life, Well, he's trumping. He's trumping the established authority of the land. And you might say, well, Nephi broke the law. Nephi did this. Nephi did that. Well, in this instance, it's basically saying Nephi, Nephi and his brethren are a law unto themselves. They are taking upon the mantle of Adam, where God gave every human being the right to rule. And this is this is a divine decree from God to say, go and do this thing. This thing that you're about to go do is giving you by a higher authority. Oh, man. And tastefully, people acknowledge higher authorities in storytelling. I actually believe all this is an actual historical account, but you have the established leaders, and if they align themselves with the higher authority, then they maintain their mantle of leadership. If they do anything contrary to the higher authority, it gets complicated, but they lose the mantle of leadership. And I think this here is proof of that. And King Noah, when he tells the people to flee before the Lamanites and leave the women and children, here's another bit of proof for that. So if you feel uncomfortable about bringing anything up like this, here it is. If you read these scriptures and you believe them to be true, it's basically saying people who are in charge still answer to a higher authority. I did this one the other day, but I didn't read the scripture. Delivered to justice, he had sought to take away mine own life. Yea, and he would not hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, and he also had taken away our property. That's Nephi talking in 1 Nephi 4:11. And one more. Father Lehi. Kind of looks like he's having a good time with whatever smoke is going on around him. Maybe it's incense. Maybe he's in the temple right now. I don't know. He's a 1 and a blue. And he's a legendary creature cleric. He has upkeep 1. Prophesy. Your creatures gain prowess until the end of turn. And what prowess is that they get +1/+0 if you ever play a instant or a sorcery.
I am a visionary man, for if I had not seen the things of God in a vision, I should not have known.
1 Nephi 5:4, and he is a 5/4. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.